Chaos on a baseball field just outside Washington, D.C. A wild shootout at a congressional baseball practice. The man walked up and opened fire on congressmen, staff members, Capitol Police at the field in Alexandria, Virginia. 4 people were shot and wounded, including House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. The gunman was killed by police. Now, this video was posted to social media today, and you can hear multiple shots being fired. The man walking his dog who shot this video ducks for cover. WJZ is live with complete coverage. Marcus Washington with a moment-by-moment breakdown of the shooting. Kimberly Eden live on Capitol Hill with reaction from Maryland lawmakers. But we begin with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren live in Alexandria, where he's learning more about the gunman and the condition of the victims. Mike?
That is some disturbing video, Denise. And moments ago, the FBI just wrapped up a briefing where they confirmed what we'd been reporting, that the suspected gunman had been living in this area, they say, since March. He had reportedly driven a van from his home in Illinois here, and he was showering at a local YMCA and growing increasingly frustrated at the political direction of the nation. Chaos erupted at a park in Alexandria, Virginia, after a gunman opened fire on Republican congressmen practicing for a charity baseball game. Majority Whip Steve Scalise, one of the most powerful members of Congress, was shot in the hip as others ran for cover, while Scalise's Capitol Police security detail engaged in a gun battle with the suspect, who later died.
And I hear the big blam, and I thought it was a car backfiring at first until I see the rifle barrel and a white male taking careful aim at congressmen, staffers, whoever he could get a hold of.
WJZ has learned the gunman is James Hodgkinson from Illinois, who expressed disdain for the president on social media. Sources say he may have been casing the area for days. He was armed with 2 weapons and lots of ammunition.
It's just fortunate because Steve Scalise is a member of leadership. He has a security detail there. Otherwise, we would just be a bunch of guys out on a normal morning practicing.
The FBI is leading the investigation, tracing the weapons. In all, Hodgkinson shot 5 people. Congressman Scalise and the 2 injured officers will survive.
We are strongest when we are unified and when we work together for the common good.
People in this suburban Washington neighborhood will never forget the harrowing moments which have prompted new discussions about security for lawmakers and about the tone of political discourse across the country.
We should pray for the peace of our country, and we should pray that people let go of their anger over this election.
The FBI right now is seeking more information about the gunman in this case. They want to know more from people in this area about what they observed. And that congressional baseball charity game that they were practicing for, we have good news to report. That will go on as scheduled tomorrow, a unifying event for the country. Vic?
Mike, thank you. Complete coverage continues now with Kimberly Eaton live in Washington, where lawmakers are reacting to the violence. Kimberly.
And Vic, no question, this has also been a unifying moment here on Capitol Hill. Politicians sending their thoughts to the injured and those who were there at the scene at the time, describing minutes of gunfire.
There were dozens, if not hundreds, of shots fired. It was scary.
8 miles from that scene, where the shooter opened fire on GOP representatives, staffers, and their police protectors. Their colleagues quickly reacting to the attack on the political main stage. House Speaker Paul Ryan.
An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us.
Followed by House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi.
Again, we are not one caucus or the other in this House today, but we speak for each other in saying that we send our thoughts and prayers to our colleague, Steve Scalise.
Opening Wednesday's hearings with remarks on the isolated attack that has sent shockwaves across political lines. Maryland Democratic Representative Dutch Ruppersberger says his immediate reaction was outrage.
Instead of practicing baseball, our members are dodging bullets instead of baseballs.
It's sparking a moment of unity on Capitol Hill, a tragedy that bridges the aisle.
And today it's not about being a Democrat or being a Republican, but working towards the common good.
And we have heard that from just about every political leader who we spoke with today, all of them sending their thoughts and prayers to the injured and giving high praise to the Capitol Police. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Kimberly Eaton, WJZ.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. And our complete coverage continues with Marcus Washington. He has more reaction from shocked witnesses. Marcus?
Well, that's right, Denise. Tonight we are hearing from some of those witnesses who came face to face with that gunfire, also about what they saw and experienced as they watched the takedown of the suspect.
I was up to bat when this shooting started. I heard a loud noise. I thought it was a construction site dropping a large piece of metal. And then the next thing I heard was, run, he's got a gun.
We didn't exactly know where the shots were coming from, but it was loud, it was constant. I actually ran and jumped in the dugout.
Everybody was in the line of fire. The people in the dugout were seeing the bullets careening off the dirt. The dirt would explode into the dugout as the bullets hit the dirt.
Fortunately, there was return fire from the Capitol Police to keep the shooter at bay.
And did you see him when police restrained him?
I did. I saw him laying down on the pavement, being handcuffed, and had a knee in his back.
What I witnessed was the bravery of the two Capitol Police officers. They were the ones that saved countless innocent lives, and they're the heroes of today.
And some of the gunfire from that baseball field entered a nearby YMCA. Luckily, no one was hurt. We are live tonight on Marcus Washington, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Marcus, thank you. Complete coverage continues now, once again, with WJZ investigator Mike Halgren live in Alexandria with new information on the gunman. Of course, we heard a lot from that news conference just moments ago. Mike?
We did, including that he died from multiple gunshot wounds to the torso in that shootout with police. And the ATF and FBI are tracing his weapons, a rifle and a handgun. They've recovered his vehicle. They're searching that and his home in Illinois and tracing his route from there to here at the crime scene. 66-year-old gunman James Hodgkinson traveled from his home in southern Illinois to Alexandria, Virginia, where armed with an M4-style assault rifle, he opened fire on Republican congressmen. His longtime friend can't believe it.
I just want to let people know that he wasn't evil, that he was, I guess, tired of some of the politics that are going on.
Some believe this was a politically motivated attack. On Facebook, Hodgkinson called President Trump a traitor and said he was destroying the nation. He worked on Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign.
I am sickened by this despicable act.
The FBI was at Hodgkinson's rural home in Belleville, Illinois. His hometown newspaper says he was politically active, often writing about various causes. It's unclear if he specifically targeted Representative Steve Scalise. Another congressman remembers seeing him and talking to him just before the attack.
I did have an interaction with someone in the parking lot who asked me if the team practicing was a Democrat or a Republican team. I told him they were Republicans. He said, "Okay, thanks," turned around. I got in the car and left, find out that my Republican colleagues were targeted by an active shooter today.
Hodgkinson may have carried the secrets of his rampage to his grave.
Through the years, he didn't back down from stuff. I mean, he was in a few fights and stuff like that, but nothing that would demonstrate violence as far as what he did.
Hodgkinson did have a run-in with neighbors and his local sheriff after shooting his rifle near his home back in March. He came here shortly after that, and again, police, the FBI, is seeking more information about him, and they have a 24-hour hotline that's been set up. Live in Alexandria, Mike Halgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Mike, thank you. WJZ has what you need to know about the Alexandria shooting. 4 people were hit, including Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise. He is in critical condition tonight. Members of the Capitol Police Department returned fire, killing the gunman. That man is from Illinois, and social media posts disagreed with the police's policies of the President Trump and Republicans. As a precaution, security has been stepped up around Washington.